Welcome, friends. Welcome, high priestesses of Germany and Kent, to Sunday Cinematic Service, where every week I think we hit the rock bottoms recently of faith-based entertainment.
Quote-unquote entertainment, yeah.
Well,
I want to congratulate you as well. I'm not going on the obvious, welcome students of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
No, yeah, that was...
You didn't go for the obvious one.
Yeah. So, as you may have guessed from that, we are going to be talking about the little phenomenon of Harry Potter. Kids and adults alike love the tales of this beloved wizard man.
Boy wizard
man. But we're going to tackle it through a different lens, because, no one wants to talk about the films or the books anymore. Everyone's talked about them to death. And also the religious case, and that's pretty boring. We could talk about the actual, what does the wizarding mean as a religion? But no, we're going to talk about the little phenomenon where people went absolutely batshit crazy over the idea that it was teaching witchcraft to children.
Yes.
And to do this, we found a delightful film called Harry Potter, Withcraft Repackaged. I don't actually know who the director is of it, but I know it's made by Jeremiah Films, a Christian video company largely known for Clinton Chronicles, which I can only imagine is an anti-Hillary and Bill thing, where it's... where it takes the position that they're not very good from maybe a Christian point of view, or Bill's lasciviousness, her emails. It won't be very good. I can tell you that now. Anything like Harry Potter Witchcraft Repackaged, anyway. So the basic premise of Harry Potter Witchcraft Repackaged is I'll go through the film itself mainly. It begins as a kind of broad spectrum of the Hollywood liberals, i.e. the Jews, are teaching children about witchcraft by shoving it in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Angel, Charmed. Then it sort of goes into, is this bad for children? Let's have an honest debate. Instant answer, yes, it's bad for children. Goes into a very long spiel about how Harry Potter is really bad. We get a lot of clips from The Craft to show why. Basically, it's a very confused film.
Yeah.
The premise is either it's luring children into a dangerous cult, which is we can't determine whether the film thinks that witchcraft is real or not.
Not as in people follow these rituals, as in whether the incantations that witches think they can do are actually real incantations.
Yeah. Well, let's not. We know that they can.
Yeah,
we don't know whether the film
Yeah.
Thinks that that's wrong or not. It's a very confused film, and it's basically just 60 minutes of random clips from Harry Potter. Well, mainly a woman whose name is it Kyra?
Carly.
Fiorina.
Carly Matricina?
Yeah, we'll just call her the woman for this because I don't want to pronounce that name. Or Kyra. Carly?
Carly, we'll go for Carly.
Carlisle.
So the impression we get of this woman is that she used to be into kind of New Age witchcraft, but has converted to Christianity.
Yeah.
And she is, to be fair on her, she knows her stuff.
Yes.
When she's talking about
paganism,
the occult, and witchcraft, she knows what she's talking about. She's clearly a quite learned woman when it comes to this. It's just a shame that it's in service of this bizarre.
Hey! Don't give all the cards away first. So we've got in a little bit about the film. Chris, what did you think of the film? You don't want to put your hand up too early. Wait for me to at least ask you what you think of the film. So I'm just thinking, best documentary ever made or not? Wait, what beat this to best picture, best documentary? Yeah, 2001.
Well, the research on the witchcraft occult side is to a degree genuinely engaging. It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
As I said, this woman clearly knows her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But its application to Harry Potter is fairly flawed because there's quite a lot of careful interpretation of the text. And by careful, I mean they choose to ignore certain things to kind of match their agenda, basically. So I didn't think it was very good, and as a concerned Christian parent about the influence of Harry Potter on my children, I'm still confused.
Yeah. I echo your sentiment. It's not a very good film.
No.
It's very cheaply made as well.
Yeah, really cheaply made, yeah.
So basically, she just sits behind like a background, and to make it liven it up a bit, it'll cut to a to like a spinning rectangle where each side of it has one of the books. Because at this point, I think there's only four published. Yeah. So yeah, it sort of just shows that spinning, and it'll be like some random thing, like Harry Potter and love, and then she'll be like, well, Harry Potter and like if I was a child and I wanted to convince a boy to like me, I'd cast a spell.
I cast a spell on them.
And it's like, oh no, if I could cast a spell to make people love me, I would. Wouldn't every child? This is why Harry Potter's so dangerous. It shows you what a child would want, and then he gives it to you, and then it'd be like, whoosh. It'll be like, Harry Potter and Hitler.
Oh yeah. Which is an actual argument that they tried to make in the
not very well.
Not very well, but yeah, they tried to do it in the text of the thing.
Yeah,
where it's so bad, and so badly applied.
Well, as everyone says, as soon as you start mentioning Hitler in an argument, you've lost. Basically.
You've lost, basically, yeah. Because basically, she equates Harry Potter's lightning bolt scar is similar to like SS officer uniforms and logo, and then just by extension,
Harry Potter's a Nazi.
Like the swastika, and Harry Potter's a Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
It
doesn't really say how or why or what the end for.
No.
My favourite bit is the one where it's like, and everyone knows that the what's the thing with like the broomstick is a phallic symbol. Then it cuts to Harry going up, and then he gets the thing up, and
Harry got it up.
Harry did get it up indeed,
right.
But to what end? It's
keeping the British end up.
Keeping the British end. All right, we did the Bond yesterday, but it's a very confused film that just shows like a bygone age where people genuinely cared about this shit. Like,
it's crazy to think that this was like, well, it doesn't feel like a long time ago. But obviously, this was about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It feels like no time at all. But this is still relatively recent history.
Yeah.
Where people were genuinely concerned about the moral well-being of the youth, and I think now people don't really care. I feel like the Harry Potter controversy to me feels like the last big outcry against something that was popular in the Christian community. You don't really hear much about organised things against something that's popular and that's potentially quote unquote dangerous to children.
Yeah,
you don't really hear about it as much anymore. I feel like the Harry Potter thing is like the last gasp of that.
Definitely. I think it shows a couple of things. Both people not really well, obviously things are more fragmented. Would you say there has been a pop culture event as big as Harry Potter since?
Probably not. But I mean, but the thing is now, if there was to be a new controversy, I feel like it'd just be preaching to the choir.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. The second part of that is, I think the Christian community has declined a lot due to a lot of younger people are more mainly atheists and stuff. They've become more hardline, so moderates don't really listen to them anymore.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of problems where they've they've obviously brought it on themselves. I think they're horrendous human beings, the people who care about. They're essentially taking a pleasant book designed to give children a little bit more self-esteem, make them happy in life. And, and they've gone this is dangerous. Might cause kids to talk back to their parents.
Oh dear, yeah. So they misconstrue quite a lot of things that happens in the Harry Potter books. Yeah. They kind of amalgamate books together, and they say certain things happen that most definitely didn't happen. At one point, Carly goes off and says a defense against the dark arts teacher was eaten by a snake.
Yeah.
But that never happens in any of the books. Because at first, my ultimate thing was trying to work out who this woman was. And what her motive was. Because at first I was like, this seems like a really, really learned woman, and she's not damning the Harry Potter books. She's just saying, people say that Harry Potter is just a fantasy, but it actually does have root in a lot of occult and pagan beliefs, which is true.
Yeah.
You know, like J.K. Rowling didn't just make this shit up. Like, she drew upon lots of different influences and different beliefs, like in how actual witchcraft works, to basically form like an amalgamation of everything to make it give it some root and make it feel like it's historical and, you know, like,
as most people do. Most people don't just invent things from whole cloth. They usually look from the things from before. Yeah.
So J.K. Rowling obviously did her research, and she even admits this as well. Like, a lot of the spells are kind of based on like Latin names, and apparently, like, when translated from Latin, they're kind of fun and quite playful terms.
Right,
So J.K. Rowling basically wanted to root it in the real world, so she took influence from a whole bunch of different sources, including Christian sources as well. Yeah. Because, you know, you've got the whole like, kind of like resurrection thing in the last Harry Potter book. Yeah. So for spoilers for a book that's nearly 15 years old.
What?
Yeah. So there's all sorts of different tracks to this. But then, as we quickly learned, Carly is basically saying that no, Harry Potter is dangerous because it does draw upon real witchcraft, and it could mean that children get into it and start learning all these spooky spells for themselves and
possessing their boyfriend.
Yeah, like using it to manipulate teachers, and she also questions the morality of Harry. Well, like, you know, she says, like, you know, he constantly lies and cheats, and he gets rewarded for it. And
it brings Hermione down with him at one point.
Yeah. So she says, like, Hermione's a goody two-shoes, and then when she lies for the boys, then that means she's done something amoral, and therefore she's accepted into the gang.
Yeah. Doesn't happen like that.
And it doesn't. No, really. Like, she does, like, she stands up for him. Yeah. Like, she does tell, like, a little white lie, but, like, it's not malicious.
Unacceptable.
You know, we're gonna have puritanical C.S. Lewis characters who have zero personality instead. Yeah. You know, and she does actually bring up C.S. Lewis. Again, I was curious about how long a Christian propaganda film about anti-Harry Potter was going to bring up the Chronicles of Narnia in a positive light. Yeah. Because obviously all those stories are very heavily Christian based, and it's all about... C.S. Lewis was actually a really interesting guy. He actually was an atheist. Oh, right. And he became a born-again Christian.
Okay, yeah.
And the Narnia books, to a degree, are about like exploring that.
Yeah.
So obviously she likes the Narnia books because while it does draw upon nasty witchcraft, it makes it clear that it's evil, and ultimately a religious outlook is better. Mm. But, you know, the kids in the Narnia books are dull as dishwater. And, like, the characters and children in Harry Potter actually act like children.
Yeah.
Like, children do
evolve over time.
And they grow as characters. Yeah. Do you know how the last Narnia book ends?
I don't know.
On a slight tangent. Basically, the last battle, which is the final book, is basically a retelling to a degree, like a coded retelling of Revelations.
Oh my god.
So it's basically about an ape and a monkey who have like an argument, and it leads to a war, and then the mule dresses up like Aslan to trick all the followers of Narnia to follow him.
Yeah.
And it's up to the ape to save the day. And it ends with Narnia basically like ending.
Yeah.
And because all the children who've ever been to Narnia visited Narnia, they have to die along with them.
Oh, okay.
So all the children who ever visited Narnia die in a horrendous train crash.
Really?
Except for Susan, who's like the dullest of the dishwater of all. Except for Susan, she lives. But yeah, they all die in a train crash.
Nice. Was that in the film?
They've not done the film yet. Really? I would love to see a film of the last battle, just to see like how the fuck they do it.
Did they just abandon them because no one watched them?
Pretty much, yeah. Like there was some weird like rights things because the first two were done by Disney, and then Prince Caspian didn't do very well, and then 20th Century Fox bought the rights to the Dawn Treader.
Okay.
And quite what that means for the rights now, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Because obviously now Fox is being
amalgamated into
Disney. Yeah. So quite what that means for the Narnia film series, I don't know, but I imagine we'll see Narnia again at some point. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But if I was going off topic a little bit.
No, it's all good. It's all relevant to this crazy film.
Yeah. So I mean, like, yeah, this was like a widespread kind of fear at the time amongst kind of like evangelical Christian groups.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting in the film that a lot of it seems to be based on this fear of loss.
Yeah.
And like the idea that like the Christian thing is like losing ground to paganism, and that, like which is I mean, it would, it's a legitimate fear that they have, not maybe to paganism but to atheism and stuff. Like, and yeah, like I think it's been borne out really. Like, they were right to be scared and stuff, and they've obviously not done enough to tame the fact that they've lost so many followers and stuff.
Exactly.
Like.
Yeah.
It's just weird now that they care so much about Harry Potter. Like, it's just such an ingrained part of culture now. You can't imagine a time where anyone could ever, like, try and take it down or anything.
Well, exactly, yeah. Like, it's all but been forgotten. But I'm reading here that apparently at the time, like around 2001-ish, there was at least 6 book burnings of Harry Potter in the US.
It's insane.
And it's just, I don't know. One guy in the Christianity Today, Jackie Comshells, compared Harry Potter to rat poison mixed with orange soda.
Nice.
We're taking something deadly from our world and turning it into what some are calling merely a literary device. Yeah. It's all a bit depressing, to be honest.
Well, it kind of is depressing, but in the same token, these people are like laughable jokes who've been proven wrong. Like, you are kind of seeing like the worst people being defeated in a way, because Harry Potter, millions of copies, obviously. Like,
sorry, I've just seen this. This is a picture from the Onion. Yeah, it's a bunch of kids doing like occult stuff, dressed up in wizard outfits. That's brilliant. Oh dear.
And I think a big part of it now was the moral panic around the presidency of George Bush as well.
Yeah.
Like, there was a big fear that, the religious right's in control now, and what are they going to do to, like, America and stuff, and, like, so I'm assuming that the whole religious stuff was, like, much less in the UK, even though, it's a UK book and stuff.
Yeah. Like, you don't really hear much, like, you don't really, I mean, I've read here that apparently, because it's funny that you just mentioned that, because there was some controversy amongst like some churches, like in the UK. So the Dean of Canterbury Cathedral refused to allow his church to be filmed as part of Hogwarts in the film series, saying it was unfitting for a Christian church to be used to promote pagan imagery. While Gloucester Cathedral agreed to take its place, the Dean of Gloucester, the Reverend Nicholas Bury, admitted to being a fan of the books. I think it's a marvellous traditional children's story and excellent written. It's amusing, exciting and wholesome, and it's just the sort of stories families should be encouraged to read. But apparently the decision still resulted in many angry letters to the local newspaper, the Gloucester Citizen. Said one honorary chaplain, "Oh yes, there's quite a to-do. There was one particular man, very evangelical, writing in and complaining that it wasn't right for such things to be going on. I don't think it was so much the film subject now, but the fact that filming was happening at all."
And he went on for some reason about Brussels.
Oh no!
For half a page.
Just
tedious people that have nothing better to do really, who complain about Harry Potter.
Then just complain, like moaning ninnies.
It's like all these moral panics that never actually lead to anything ever happening. Like,
well, exactly, yeah. Like, one of the great ones I always think of is kind of the there was a legion of like doddery old people in like the 70s complaining about like violence on like BBC television, but in particular like Doctor Who.
Oh, really?
There was outrage about how violent Doctor Who was getting. And ultimately the BBC had to bow down to these kind of people. But ultimately, like, it's not led to anything. You know what I mean? It's all been forgotten. Basically.
The only serious one I know about is the Satanic Verses thing with Salman Rushdie, where they were actually burning books like everywhere. Like even in Bradford, they burned books in outside Waterstone.
Even in Bradford.
Yeah, but they had to like hide. They had to. It's pretty awful, really. Like, put a fatwa out on him. You know the Satanic Verses.
Yeah.
And like the publisher in a country got killed and stuff.
God.
Like, it was like horrendous. What happened to it? Obviously, much bigger scale than bloody Harry Potter. As my knowledge, no one's been killed yet over.
No, I mean, there has been some. I'm reading some stuff here that it kind of spreads outside of just like Christianity, but also like into Islam as well.
Oh, okay.
Where the Harry Potter books are actually banned in schools in the United Arab Emirates. Citing that the fantasy and magic elements are contrary to Islamic belief. There are no plans to. They're still sold in the country. They're just not. They're not done in schools.
Yeah.
Apparently in Karachi, Pakistan, the police discovered a car bomb, defused it, located outside a shopping centre where it could be coincidence, but the final Harry Potter novel was going to be scheduled to go on sale.
Oh, right, okay.
Could be coincidence, but
Uh,
but then also like it goes into Judaism as well, where I think basically any kind of organized religion is gonna like find something in these books, because I think most major religions, because the whole point of religion was like as like an organized faith-based thing, they do want to kind of demonize any kind of occult or paganism. So I think any major religion is going to find some objection to
Harry Potter.
To Harry Potter, just by the very nature of it.
It's just so bizarre that this person, like these people, it's like paganism's just ridiculous. Like, I don't think anyone. I can't believe all the it's probably not true if it's in that film, but the idea that paganism's become so big in America and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, it's just insane. Like, it's just as ridiculous as any other one. Well, the spells and stuff are, and like, it's just weird. Like,
but I mean, like these guys in general, like these guys who made these films. Like, I've been taking discussing. I've been taking a look at some of the other films that have been made. So there's some fairly innocuous ones like Devil Worship: The Rise of Satanism, but this is one that caught my eye: gay rights, special rights inside the homosexual agenda. Oh, good God. Pagan Invasion, Halloween Trick or Treat.
Wait, that was the one where it was like clips?
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh my God.
So it's their own film.
I genuinely thought it meant Pagan Invasion, real footage. Oh, that's ridiculous. And then I thought it meant Halloween, the film.
Oh,
and it just
right.
was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh no.
Mormon Dilemma.
God's Story, From Creation to Eternity. Unholy War, Christian Genocide in Sudan. AIDS, What You Haven't Been Told.
Well, it's a myth, I'm assuming, from their earlier thing, yeah.
I dread to think, yeah.
Oh, God, it's probably about like how it's like God's plan or something ridiculous.
Yeah, probably.
These are ugly people making ugly films, basically.
And I find this kind of Carly woman kind of interesting as well.
Yeah.
So
she's like any huckster, really. They're all quite interesting because it's like they've obviously sacrificed quite a lot in life to bring either that or they are just trying to cash in on the success of Harry Potter and trying to make money off of the back of like idiot rubes who. Yeah,
like how strongly does she actually feel about Harry Potter? I mean, the thing is that the crazy thing is that I've been reading through some reactions, and what pretty much everyone has kind of, well, not everyone, but quite a few people have said, like prominent Christian figures have said, that the books are good, and they promote good values. It's just packaged in.
They just wish it wasn't pagan.
They just wish it wasn't pagan themed, yeah.
Like if he went to just like, I don't know, like if it was about a guy who was, I can't think. I was trying to think of like substituting wizarding for something.
Yeah.
If he only played rollerball, a little battle angel.
A literal battle angel, yeah.
Yeah.
If only they did that instead, yeah.
But I wonder what their opinion is of the Crimes of Grindelwald, the new Harry Potter film.
Oh God, the most hated films of most hated blockbusters of the last few years.
Yeah.
I've still not seen it yet.
I hear it's terrible. I listened to a podcast where they were ripping it to shreds and they talked about everything in it and it just sounded awful. Like.
I mean, I know that it basically ends with like one of the good characters completely out of the blue turning and joining like the evil fascists.
Okay.
And it's meant to be like an emotional like gut punch, like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. But instead it's like, I didn't see that coming. That's stupid.
Just not handled well.
I've also heard there's some really dodgy implications about like why like the wizards shouldn't marry muggles.
Oh.
And make of that what you will in terms of like real world like comparisons.
Okay.
Whether that's for false or for bad guys or not, I don't know. And there's like, I don't know. It's a whole separate thing I could go on about about what J.K. Rowling's done subsequently to the Harry Potter universe, separate to this.
Well, I think she's a really interesting figure, J.K. Rowling, because obviously earlier she publishes Harry Potter and she's really famous, and now she's sort of she does all these like interventions and into stuff. Like she famously donated I think $1 million to the £1 million to the like Scottish referendum for like when you feel like staying in and stuff, and like she like pops up and does. The Lib Dems want her to be leader
Oh right, okay.
of the party and stuff, and like yeah, because like Harry Potter's I don't think as big as it was, and like these new films are. I'm going to say it now. I don't think they're going to end up getting to the full 5 that they're planning to do.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think the Crimes of Grindelwald made about the same as the first one.
Okay.
Which, as we know, and we were discussing earlier today, not for a podcast, but the problem with rampant capitalism is that
it has to make more
than the last one. So I think because of that, I don't think there's going to be.
And I don't think they've not done the Hobbit, have they? Where they've shot it all simultaneously.
No, God, no, definitely not. No. There's no pre-planning with these.
Yeah, but I find it interesting. Like people think that like they were like that obviously with like Johnny Depp and stuff. They're like, oh, why isn't J.K. Rowling stepping in to fire him and stuff? I think she holds a special place in the heart of people who are like Harry Potter fans and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, and to be fair, she's a fairly woke person. Like she does. She's not afraid to voice her opinion.
Yeah,
which I respect. I just sometimes like anyone.
Yeah,
she might like just say the wrong thing and take it, maybe a little bit.
Heresy, burn the heresy.
Yeah, no. Maybe sometimes she might just, might not think about exactly what she's saying because it might be a reactionary thing.
Yeah.
But she has done lots of strange things.
Yeah.
Like she is a fairly woke person, like on social media, but then she's hands are tied behind her back a little bit, but she's ultimately had to go through with that with Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
toxic. No, and
she really fired him herself though? Like,
an alleged toxic person and potential like wife beater.
Yeah.
Like, read between the lines there.
A drunk who apparently can't remember his lines on set and has to get fed to him as well.
Did you see the last Pirates of the Caribbean film?
No, but that's what I was referring to. Isn't that the one where he just like couldn't remember lines and he had like an earpiece in and stuff?
It's so bad. Yeah,
he is one of them people who's just like just the distance from where he was like 10 years ago. Like he was massive when he was like the biggest star when I was a kid, and now everyone hates him. And like I don't think he's that good an actor. Like the only film I've seen I actually like him in is Dead Man, the Jim Jarmusch film.
Ed Wood.
Oh yeah,
that's his best performance in my opinion. He's absolutely
he just disappears into Ed Wood. Yeah,
he's absolutely brilliant in that, and a real kind of sad reminder of what a great actor he could be.
Same year, I think, as Dead Man. That's pretty amazing, really.
Yeah.
Even Edward Scissorhands, I suppose. No,
he's good in that. Yeah, he is a good performer, but the only problem is he's became obsessed with I play characters with silly hats and silly voices.
I think the nadir of that is, and I watched a little bit over Christmas. Charlie in a Chocolate Factory.
Oh, that's bad, yeah.
Hello, I'm Willy Wonka.
Yeah, that's really bad, yeah. You're like,
Floopy whoopy doopy doo.
Willy Wonka. He's amazing chocolatier.
Yeah. Oh, is that the worst Tim Burton film?
No,
Planet of the Apes, actually.
I've not seen Planet of the Apes.
It's terrible. It's so boring. Like
top of my head. It's definitely one of. No, Alice in Wonderland I think is worse.
Oh yeah, he didn't do the sequel either, did he?
No, he didn't. No,
Alice in Wonderland's dreadful.
Alice in Wonderland's really bad. Yeah.
What a hack he's become.
It's a bit of a shame because I think he is talented.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Like he's like Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands, like even the Batman film.
The 80s I like the 80s Batman, and I also quite like Batman Returns as well.
That's the one everyone like thinks is like the really cool one. 'Cause it's more like a him film.
Yeah.
I would say I like everything on here up until you get to like Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah. I even have a bit of a soft spot for Mars Attacks as well.
It's a fun film.
Yeah, it's fun. But yeah, like after that, I don't know. Big Fish is one that people like these days. I've not seen it.
But the thing with J.K. Rowling, she does stuff like where she says that like Dumbledore was like gay throughout the things.
Yeah,
but that's not that heroic to say that after you've written them and you've got all this money and all this
that's my biggest problem. Like with Fantastic Beasts 2, and I'm not seeing it yet, but I know that this is basically like it's not in the text that Dumbledore's gay.
Yeah,
it's something that she's retroactively said, which is a problem.
Yeah,
it's like in Star Trek 3, Star Trek Beyond, the one that nobody saw.
Yeah.
They made Sulu gay.
Okay, yeah.
Which is fine, But then George Takei raised a really important point, who actually is a gay man.
Yeah.
He raised a really important point and said, well, you can't just retrospectively make someone gay.
Yeah.
You can't retrospectively, like, change their sexuality.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Sulu might have been straight. I'm fairly sure in the original series he is straight, because he's got a... Well, he could be anything in the future, but...
yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's not been confirmed or denied on, like, what Sulu's sexuality is, and he basically says it's a problem with, like, retrospectively altering someone's sexual orientation.
Well, it's trying to get points to something, you know. It's not that heroic, I don't think, to do something after the fact.
No, definitely not, no. Or
it would have been bold for it to make him gay in, like, maybe, like, the 5th book or something, you know, and then that would have been genuinely controversial or something, like.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not confirmed up until that point, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But then, like, my biggest problem is that, okay, so Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
These are actually written directly by J.K. Rowling. Here is her chance to canonically make Dumbledore gay in the text.
Yeah.
Here's the chance. I know he's canonically gay because of what J.K. Rowling said afterwards, but here's your chance to actually put it into the text.
Yeah.
Because the film is about Dumbledore. Grindelwald was, like, a former lover of Dumbledore.
Yeah.
So here's your chance to do it. But instead they don't do anything. It doesn't come up.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's really bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And not good. And then have you heard what her latest bizarre thing was about how wizards shit on the floor?
No.
Yeah, so
she said something weird about Dobby and all, didn't she, at one point?
Yeah, yeah.
What did she say about him?
Let's do the shit.
What's
thing
the
first.
shit thing first? Yeah.
Yeah. So the shit thing is obviously there was no plumbing in Hogwarts for a long time.
All right. Yeah.
So wizards used to just defecate where they were.
All right.
And then they just magic it away somewhere.
Okay.
So wizards and witches are just piss and shit on the floor, and then they just get the magic wands and just zap it away somewhere.
Okay.
You can't just get rid of matter.
Yeah.
Matter's got to go somewhere. So somewhere there's like a giant pile of witch and wizard shit and piss everywhere. It's like, why would you mention that?
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Like, it's just one of the things that you accept, because, like, you know, Hogwarts is meant to be completely free from Muggle stuff.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, who cares ultimately? What does it add to the story?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Outside of, like, ugh. Like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and all the, like, cashing in on Harry Potter, I think it's a bit sad as well. Like the new films, and the fact they're making them into 5 separate things, and, like, they're just trying to cash in everything they really can, I think, off these, and I just found it a bit sad. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's such a big part of people's childhood.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff,
definitely, yeah. She apologised for killing Dobby? All this strange stuff is put on Pottermore.
What's Pottermore?
Pottermore's like an online thing where like people can sign up and...
How well do you know Dobby the House Elf?
Let's not find out. I don't know. But she does lots of strange like retrospective like amendments to the series, which is way more interesting than is just Harry Potter promote children learning witchcraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't quite understand it personally.
No.
But it's always the way, you know, it's the same like with like Star Wars and how Disney has, which is this is the phrase that's been the phrase of the weekend, but has blown the load too quickly.
Yeah.
With all the Star Wars sequels, where it's like, well, you've almost like undermined like what your original thing is.
Yeah.
You know, like what's the point?
Yeah, and people do just get fatigued, I think. I think people are just sick of it now. Like, you saw that with, like, Solo, Oscar-nominated film. And that make, like, it made way less, didn't it, than...
Well, it lost money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know it cost... Didn't that cost, like, $400 million to make something ridiculous? Because they had to shoot it twice and stuff. So good they made it twice.
So Fantastic Beasts made $650 million worldwide. Versus the original film.
That is so weird because I don't know a single person who's seen it.
$814 million.
Oh, so it made a lot less. Basically.
So that sequel's probably not going to happen.
I reckon they'll make one more maybe to sort of round everything off. Like, Jesus Christ! Look at Johnny Depp in the film.
He looks so bad. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, it only just scraped in like the top 10 highest grossing films of the year as well, and I think when a Harry Potter film does that, there's a problem. You know, it's bad when Venom's made more. Venom. Like a turd in the wind.
I don't know. Have you heard that film ends and it's got a song by Eminem? So like it goes to credits. So it cuts like really abruptly to credits. Because they're like 90 minutes long apparently, and then it cuts to credits and it goes Venom, 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 Venom. Like that's like the song for it. Like yeah, it's like dreadful song. Your favourite moment of the documentary, to bring it back a little bit. Did you like the CSN MSNBC? That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
bit where they interview a guy about Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, parent. Yeah.
A concerned parent. Yeah.
Well, like J.K. Rowling basically says like the characters they might be evil, but I think these are like like moral books. And she's like, well, I agree that it's an evil book.
Yeah, because she basically says, like they're evil characters. I don't want to, I don't want to talk down to children and like, sanitize it. So they'll do evil things. Like, what do you think? That's a very good point, isn't it? Well, I agree with her that the book is evil.
Well, I believe that I'm from South Carolina, and I believe that the books are evil.
It's just the stupidest point ever, like to make about this, and like. This film makes people who are concerned about Harry Potter look in the worst light possible, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Makes them look like confused people who are scared that someone's going to cast a spell on them to make them fall in love.
She's going to cast a spell on me!
Oh no!
But that's
and
the way.
I guess Jimmy Stewart for the win.
It's evil. So fuck knows. I mean, what's going through with these people's minds. And as I said, like we were confused as to like the actual motive. Like, do they believe that children are actually going to like have spells be cast upon them?
God knows.
Like, I don't get it, and it's a shame that all this woman's knowledge, clearly a smart woman, is like it's all in aid of like, And I was doing a bit of research into her as well, and like like in the final year, she was going on a bit of a crusade of I guess like. Islam's in the US, Muslims in the Muslim government, and it's like
Muslims in the Muslim government.
Yeah, sorry, Muslims in the US government.
Yeah,
Muslims in the US government. Where it's like, oh no.
Well, I think that's the end point to all these cranks, really, like because it's no more ridiculous than like what they're talking about with the Wicca conspiracy kind of thing. Like, well, it just feels so tame where they're actually concerned about like I don't consider Wicca to be a real religion, to be honest. Like. There used to be so many sort of. It's weird to think, there used to be so many witch-related sort of pieces.
It was really popular, like in the late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, like it brings.
Do you remember Hex?
Hex, yeah.
That was dreadful. It had Michael Fassbender in as well.
Yeah, I mean, it brings up Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, it brings that up a lot. Yeah,
an Angel. And Charmed.
Same thing, really. Buffy and Angel, like they're in the same universe. They're not same quality-wise, obviously.
Yeah, and obviously Angel's better,
Oh yeah, much better. I like it darker.
I like the blank slate that is
David Boreanaz.
Like like the worst character in like the first 2 seasons of Buffy.
Yeah. Yeah, but wouldn't you like if he went around going like a noir environment, solving crimes?
I just like the idea that Angel just like uproots and goes like, you know what? I'm gonna set up a detective agency in LA.
It's like that stupid Simpsons gag in it on the 138th episode where it's Tito Fuente.
Yeah.
But yeah, it used to be this massive thing, and now it's just completely like just gone.
It's just gone. Yeah. People aren't as into it anymore. And the whole like gothy thing as well, I think was really big as well, like in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, that's not.
And now it's kind of like you still have your goths, but like it's definitely died out.
They're a much smaller subset than they used to be.
Yeah, they've been replaced by emos.
Even that. That's
scene
kids. Seem to that big a thing now.
No, you still see emo kids walking about.
Yeah.
I think that's one of them that'll always kind of be.
As long as there's angry teens, there'll always be some sub-genre.
There'll always be some.
They'll be into sad SoundCloud rappers now.
Yeah, it is quite
Any closing thoughts on this film and the phenomenon of Harry Potter as a evil thing that's going to cast children into
the fiery pits of hell? I mean, not really. Like it's. I just think it's more of a shame that this woman's knowledge, like, isn't being used to like not as part of like an agenda.
Yeah, I like that. I like the fact not just on a sort of technical film making level. so shoddily made. You could make something better than this. Like, me and you could make this, like, about 1,000,000 times better just with, like, tools in your Mac. Like,
Yeah.
just, like, editing and stuff's gone so far ahead with these this documentary will be on YouTube now.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
It'd just be a webcam video of someone like, I think Muslims are in Harry Potter books. I'm like,
Oh, God.
The wizarding world is clearly the Islamic Caliphate.
Harry Potter's got a ecology here.
Yeah. I noticed Hermione, she was wearing a robe, and when they're going to wear a hijab. And well, I say that, but most people say that we wouldn't know what hijab is. Or and it's just not very. It's not a good documentary. Would you say there's enough in it to? I did find it quite engaging.
To a degree, yeah.
It was fun to watch with you and to rip it apart.
I'm probably by yourself. I'm probably like I watched yesterday as well.
Yeah.
It would have been a fairly miserable experience to watch it by yourself.
One day we'll watch a good, engaging religious film.
Well, maybe, yeah, one day.
The Seventh Seal or something.
The Seventh Seal, yeah.
I actually brought The Seventh Seal, Black Narcissus, and a film called Separation.
Yeah.
And I was these films are critically acclaimed. They're probably very good. Well, Seventh Seal is
Seal's
good.
great,
I have seen that.
I've got that on DVD here, so.
Yeah. But yeah, instead we watched two terrible pieces of agitprop that were designed just to get the Christian message out. But yeah, join us next time where we'll try and watch something good so we can have an actual theological debate.
Oh dear! So stay safe, you wizards, because fanatical Christians are out to.
Don't let those muggles get you.
Don't let those muggles get you. Yeah, and don't watch Fantastic Beasts 2.
Yeah, probably don't. It's probably awful. Everyone said it was awful.
Yeah. And that limp note.
Yeah.
Good night.